Thank you. My name is Zabria Murphy, and I am a senior at City College High School, and also a graduate of the Higher Achievement Summer and After School Academy here in Baltimore. I am excited to be here to welcome you to this session. This is NSLA's 4th annual Spark Session, which is an opportunity to highlight creative summer learning ideas through several engaging short talks. This year is an exciting new aspect to this session. For the first time ever, the Spark Session features all young people as speakers, each of whom will offer insights from the perspective of youth and the impact of summer learning experiences for them. We are really excited to have Mr. Karim here with us today to moderate. Karim is the founder and CEO of Practice Makes Perfect, a nonprofit organization that believes that all children, regardless of race and socioeconomic status, have equal potential to compete intellectually in our society. After learning about the achievement gap and its personal impact on his life in 2010, Karim set out to create a program that addressed 3 critical pain points. Number 1, lack of engagement in middle school, especially in low-income neighborhoods like the one in which he grew up in. Number 2, summer opportunities and the graduation rates for high school students, especially for those who attend inner-city high schools like the one Karim attended. And number 3, college readiness and advancement into selective universities. After graduating from the New York City Public School system, Karim secured over $300,000 in scholarships to make his college education possible. For this work, for his work with Practice Makes Perfect, Karim has been featured in New York Times and awarded several distinctions, including the Echoing Green Fellowship, Newman Civic Fellowship, Pearson Prize National Fellowship, the Cornell Class of 1961 John F. Kennedy Memorial Award, and recently named to Forbes 30 Under 30 in education. And this isn't even the full list. Karim is a graduate of Cornell University's School of Hotel Administration, where he served as a student assistant to the dean, a Hunter Rawlings III Presidential Research Scholar, and Presidential Fellow through the Center for Student and Presidency in Congress. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Karim to the stage.
Thank you, Cybria.
You're welcome.
I told her to keep it short because I didn't want people to think I was old. She said that we were having all students as speakers and as a moderator, hopefully. So Sarah really knows how to make a 23-year-old feel really old. You put them on a panel with a bunch of really young kids. And so to shake the oldness off, I wore my colorful socks. I threw my suit jacket off. Now I'm ready to host this panel. I think we have some incredible speakers. These students' stories are inspirational. I know you guys started reading their bios already, but this work is personal for me. And you'll begin to hear from the reason why we're all here today. So like many of you all, this work is something that we feel is inherent in what we need to do, and it really does drive who we are as individuals when we know that people in our society need this as an opportunity to take it as a stepping stone to something bigger, right? And a channel for them to do a little bit more. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce our panelists. We have Jonathan Gray from the Baltimore Urban Debate League. Marsha Allen from Higher Achievement, Nicole Carruthers from the 22nd Century Learning Program, and Carolina Andrade from the Jack Kent Cooke Young Scholars. So each of them are going to speak for about 3 minutes or so. They're going to tell you a little bit more about who they are. We're going to have a conversation up here on stage, and then as I get close to the end, I'm going to let you all know. So if you guys have questions for our panelists, we can take them. Sound like a plan? Go ahead, Jonathan, kick us off.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Jonathan Gray. I attend AFIA PCS, and I'm part of their debate team. I joined in 6th grade. That was my first time ever debating. I've been in it from 6th grade now, so 2 years going on 3. Now, 6th grade, like I've never debated before, so when I started, it was really just from my teacher saying that I should try it out. So once I started it, it wasn't as hard as it seemed, but yet it still pushed me academically, and I really loved debate. So once I heard there was a summer program about it, I was like, yeah, I gotta go. And it was free, so that was, so then I was like, all right, so I attended, I went 6th grade year and I went again last year. And it really pushed me as a debater, because usually in classes or in your debate practices, you learn about how to debate your side. You learn about how to debate that topic. When at the camp, they taught us about the art of debate, the skill of debate. The 3 things that I think stick out to me the most that I still use even today would be logos, pathos, and ethos, which were, logos is when you use logic in your speeches, when you try to relate to the audience logically and make them want to come to your side. Pathos would be when you try to use emotion. You want them to emotionally come to your side. And ethos is when you try to use the economics, or you try to use a celebrity. I think that now, the way the camp worked is when we went to our camp, our lab leaders were judges. Most of our lab leaders were people who have judged debate rounds themselves. So they were able to give us pointers on what they look for and able to mold our debating experience and mold us as debaters. So I think that was really well crafted, the way they made us stronger. So, and a lot of us were already good. A lot of us, they knew us just from calling our names a lot. So they knew us from being really good debaters. And then not only are we learning more, but it's making us stronger. We got the debate topic over summer, so then when we went back to our schools and our classes, we were already ahead of the game in a sense. It really crafted, because it makes your team stronger now that you know already what you're going to do. So I think that the summer experience was a really good experience, and it was a really good way of molding us. And a lot of times we may waste our summers, but to have these experiences over summer is really strong. And I would definitely say that summer is a window of opportunity. So we can use our summer strongly, and we can use it in a sense of we can forget what we learned, or we can take it as a breather, as a vacation, or we can use it to become stronger for the next year. And I think that's what the debate program over summer did for me in a debating sense, and I still use it in my classes. So I definitely do think that this was a really strong environment, and I really hope that all summers or the rest of our experience goes well like this.
Summer is a window of opportunity. Guys, we are on Twitter, #SummerConf. Summer is a window of opportunity. Let's not forget that. Yeah, Marche, kick us off.
Good afternoon, everyone. All right, my name is Marche Allen, and I attend Connections, a community-based art school. And I'm going to share a story with you about a program that changed my life. Now, Higher Achievement is an after-school and summer learning program that attends to middle school students. Now, when I first started the program, I was, not the type that want to be in it. I wasn't with the whole learning in the summer. I'm like, what am I here for? Why am I learning? Why am I sitting here writing in the summertime? I wasn't the type to just be in the whole educational learning type in the summer atmosphere. I will never forget the time that me and my center director, Mr. Corinthian, got into a really big argument. He said, Marche, I've given you chance after chance, and it seems that your attitude and your participation is not agreeing with the program. So I'm going to have to ask you to leave. So me taking no for an answer, I came back the next day as if nothing happened. So when I came back the next day, though, I did have a new attitude. But that night I had to evaluate myself. I had to think about a change that I had to make in myself and for my future. And Mr. Corinthian's expectations never change. And with his expectations, I had to make high expectations for myself. So, going through the Higher Achievement program, my peers influenced me. They influenced me to do better, and we all realized that it was high expectations for everyone. Everyone had high expectations to do great things and to go big and beyond. Going through the program, I found something interesting. Some of the kids, now remind you, it's a 4-year program after school. We already in school in the morning, and then you have to come in the afternoon and do work and different stuff. So some of the kids that were very attentive, you would think would stay and graduate the program, didn't. And some of the kids that had a bumpy road in the program stayed and graduated. Now, I know you're wondering, how was that possible? There was a turning point. There was a turning point in the program where some of the kids reached and they said, we have got to make a change. We have got to evaluate ourselves. We got to see our future bigger than what it is. So later on, throughout the program, here comes 8th grade. We're here and we're graduating. And as I'm walking to receive my certificate, Mr. Corinthians says to me, Marsha, I cannot believe the young man you have become. I'm so proud, and I couldn't be more prouder. And I'm so glad that you became one of higher achievement's most great leaders. And right there, in that moment, I realized that higher achievement wasn't just about educational learning. It was about learning life experiences. So I can say that young people, grab onto your future. And books is not the only thing that you can learn. Life experiences is what matters too. Thank you.
Out of school time also provides you with the opportunity to have life experiences, right? So it's much more than just summer and much more than just learning, as you all saw. It's about the entire child. Nicole, kick us off.
Hi, my name is Nicole Carruthers. I'm 13. I'm in the 8th grade in the school maintenance, the Crossroads School. During the summer, I participated in the 22nd Century Pioneer Robotics Summer Program. This was my first time ever working with robotics. The purpose of this program was to keep our math skills sharp and learn robotics. I like designing things. I was able to design a robot, build it, control the robot with the joystick, and program the robot to move on its own. I placed second in the scrimmage and first in the finals. I was rewarded the robotic champion. I wish robotics could be a regular class in school. A lot of people did not believe in me because my mom did drugs when I was in her stomach. I had fetal alcohol syndrome. If it wasn't for my auntie adopting me, I would not be here right now to this day. Since the summer program, I believe in myself. I enjoy robotics programs so much it helped me prepare for my future. Some advice to the teachers to believe in your students. They can do things you wouldn't believe they can do. I'm looking forward to another summer program of robotics. Thank you very much.
So each and every one of these kids up here are special. Nicole has a personality. She won't tell you this, but she had the opportunity to change how her name was spelled at one point. And it used to be spelled Nichole. And I asked her, why didn't she just drop the H? And she said, well, there were too many Nicoles with that same spelling already. So get ready for the personalities on this stage. Go ahead, Carolina.
All right, I'm personality number 4. My name is Catalina Andrada. I'm a freshman up north of here at Johns Hopkins University. I'm a Jack Kent Cooke College Scholar, formerly a Jack Kent Cooke Young Scholar. My old educational advisor is right here, Matthew Jose. I'm very thankful that he's here with me. And I'm here to talk to you about summer programs and why they're important. So my experiences in summer programs did 3 different things for me. The first thing is pretty obvious. I've attended several summer programs. I think it's close to 10 over my years in high school. And the first thing the summer programs did for me was teach me what I liked and what I didn't like. Let me give you an example. When I was younger, I was convinced I was going to be on Broadway. Can you tell? So when I was going into the 10th grade, I went to Yale to do a summer program called Explo and take a bunch of different classes, very extracurricular-like. One of the things I did was musical theater. So it was really fun, but you know, when you take musical theater with like the girls that have already been in like TV shows, you get a reality check and cross that one off the list. However, the next summer I did a summer program in Alaska. This is not the Alaska you're thinking about. I wasn't on a cruise ship, I'm sorry. I stayed for 1 month in an Athabasca Native American village doing volunteer work for them, learning about their culture and learning about their problems. So that was when I decided that one of the things that I wanted to do was give back to people, especially people around the world, understand how different cultures work and how they interact. So I decided, after talking with my dad over the phone, that I wanted to go into international relations. So now I'm at Hopkins. I am not doing pre-med at Johns Hopkins, no. I am doing international relations, and I'm very happy with myself. So, this is a shout out to my good friend Austin. Last night I stayed up until 3 a.m. This is not an abnormal thing at college. And my friend Austin was trying to help me with this speech because procrastination, not an abnormal thing in college. So my friend Austin was screaming at me from his bed the following quote from a 2004 film about ice hockey called Miracle. The quote is, "Great moments are born from great opportunity." And this is the second thing that I've taken away from summer programs. So summer programs are opportunities for great moments that you wouldn't have otherwise. Everyone here on this stage has told you about all these incredible experiences that they've had at these summer programs. And I'm going to tell you one of mine. A country that is very near and dear to me now is the country of Cambodia. I had the honor and privilege of traveling to Cambodia thanks to the Jack Kent Cooke Foundation 1.5 years ago. And one of the places I ended up on was this island in the middle of nowhere. And I want you to picture this island, completely remote. There are only wooden shacks on this island, and I'm standing at the end of my 1-month-long journey with 2 of the best friends I've ever made on the beach. And I walk into the water, and it's cool, and the breeze is blowing. And in the water, as you wave your hands around and start to swim, all this bioluminescence starts to light up, and it's like a mirror of the sky above you. You have the Milky Way galaxy, this fat stripe in the heavens, and all these stars looking down on you, and I can't go back to that, but I always do in my mind. These moments are incredible, and they're totally unforgettable. And because of that, I'm going to tell you one more. Summer programs aren't just opportunities to encounter beautiful moments. The third and most important thing about summer programs is that they are opportunities to learn lessons that you wouldn't have learned otherwise. We can only learn these lessons if we step outside of our worlds and into worlds that we wouldn't have experienced otherwise. Now, on my trip to Cambodia, we did a bunch of homestays, right? This is where, you go to someone's house and you stay there and they feed you and you pretend that, they're gonna make you do chores. You don't have to do the chores, it's really nice. And I remember being in this village called Prekpadao, very close to the capital, staying with my homestay family and hanging out with my homestay sister in this very lush area of the town. And we're just hanging out, she's 19, I'm 18 at the time. And I ask her, so, what are you gonna do? You're about to graduate high school. What's the next plan? And she goes, oh, well, I'd really like to go to college. And I say, that's sick. Where do you wanna go to college? And she's like, I wanna go to college, in the capital of Cambodia, Phnom Penh. I'd really love to go study. It's a huge deal to me. I love my education. As I am really kind of obsessed with education, I'm so invested in this conversation. I start asking her, what do you want to study? When are you going to go? What are you going to do? How are you going to get there? How are you going to commute? I'm so excited for this girl. And she says, well, I can't go to college. I can't leave my family. There's nothing I can do. And I can't forget this girl. I think about her all the time. There's this girl right now. She's right now, think about it, right now in Cambodia. It's like 4 something. Yeah, she's asleep, hopefully. But she's still there. and she's still not in college. And that's one of the biggest lessons that I take away from summer programs, is that I am given this incredible opportunity to learn things that no one else can learn sitting in a classroom. I can even go to college. I'm at Hopkins right now. I have a midterm tomorrow. I'm not studying right now, I'm sorry. And there's so many people out there that don't get this chance. Summer programs are about opening your mind to worlds you've never seen. Summer programs are crucial because there are so many kids out there that don't understand what learning is about. Learning isn't about rote memorization. Learning isn't about being tortured by test after test. Learning is about passion and discovering what you want to do in the world. Summer programs are a privilege. And summer programs are something that everyone should be able to experience. Thank you.